is here, which means it's time, Michael.
That voice means it is time again.
Oh boy. Well, we're the chickens are running the hen house, or what is it? The wolf
When the cat's away, the mice will play.
The cat's away and the roosters are loose.
Something like that.
I don't think I'm mixing all the wrong ones here.
You know what? There's nobody here to correct us. We're going with it.
I know. Yeah. JJ, send us your corrections. Preferably in 6 to 8 weeks.
But via the post, send them.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't do it while you're on assignment. Hey Michael, how's it going?
It is going.
Oh, it's only Tuesday, my man.
It is only Tuesday. No, I didn't mean that in necessarily a bad way. I still have not totally gotten over that crazy thunderstorm that we had.
What do you mean?
Just the intensity of it.
I know what a thunderstorm is.
Well, sure, yeah. The intensity of it, given that, for those who don't know, we are in Southern California and we pretty much don't get thunderstorms, much less ones that are setting off car alarms left and right.
Yeah. It was unusually high humidity. In fact, this is a shout out to Andrew, a friend of the podcast, Andrew. I texted him that day that the humidity was over 80%. As a very funny in-joke that JJ's not here to get, but I'll still tell it. In Magic the Gathering, Michael, this is a fun little engineering thing, actually.
Okay.
They have, cards, right? Paper cards.
Yeah.
And sometime in the early 2000s, when Pokemon came out, Pokemon introduced foiling on cards.
Okay. So
you've seen a foil trading card before.
I have.
It's made with like different layers of laminates, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a protective laminate. Otherwise, all the foiling would like flake off of it eventually.
Sure. Yep.
It's not very durable, not like you want a trading card to be. And yeah, we're in the age of people put plastic on their trading cards. But at that point in time, Ultra Pro had really not taken off to protect card decks. This is all information I got from Ristic studies, by the way, that I've talked about before on this podcast.
Yeah.
But during that thunderstorm, a very unique opportunity presents itself for people with foil Magic cards. Where they're made often is of higher or lower humidity than where you live.
Sure. Yep.
And if the card bends a certain way, it's called, or either direction, it's called pringling. But if it bends upward or outward, it is in need of more humidity. The laminate is holding it from absorbing the water correctly, right? So you need to raise the humidity level to bring it back to where it was, and then quickly sleeve the card to lock in all that humidity.
Okay, yeah, I see. You're recreating the conditions in which it was made, and then basically environmentally sealing it.
Yeah, that's the hope. So that thunderstorm was like came on, and not only could you feel it coming because of the weather, but because the humidity was like 83%. So I texted Andrew to take all his foil Magic cards outside. And it worked, by the way. I unbent about 4 of mine, and they're all sitting here nice and flat now.
Unpringled them?
Yeah, they're my Anixthea Hand of Erebos foils, which I try not to buy foils because of this problem.
Right.
But certain cards have only actually ever been printed in foil, which is a weird thing. But yeah, you're from the land of thunderstorms, man.
I am. It felt like being back on the East Coast in the summertime, where
it feels like it's coming
kind of weather
again.
Yeah.
Does it feel like it to you? It feels like it's coming again.
It has felt very humid.
It doesn't help that the environment in Los Angeles is kind of dour, that the weather and everything else is kind of feels like it should follow suit,
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how did it compare to a back home thunderstorm?
It's
humidity right now, man.
Yeah, it's like 80% right now. You know what? It was probably the closest storm in terms of a thunderstorm to anything from back home that I have felt since I've lived out here, which has
Really?
been 15 years now. So yeah, a long time.
Wow.
I can't remember one being as, as loud or as vibrant with the flashes of lightning as this one was.
I sat underneath our new front door portico that we just built during the thunderstorm with a friend of the pod, Matt, and we had a glass of wine and watched it roll by.
If you've got a dry spot and somewhere good to watch from, there is nothing quite like it.
Yeah, it was pretty dang cool, man. Lightning and thunder, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Speaking of thunder, lightning, maybe, I don't know. Something that often happens in books when dragons appear is weather, right? Like it's a trope of the dragon.
Yes. Yeah, they control the weather or they are associated with some facet of the weather.
In fact, this past month, how long ago did the volcano in Italy go? Sicily?
2 weeks ago now, was
2 weeks
that?
ago? Yeah,
Two or
Mount Etna.
three in the last 2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw the explosion in lava from Mount Etna at night, but like you can understand how people created dragons in the
Yes.
past. If you saw that at nighttime and in the daytime there was all the smoke and everything else like that.
Yeah, you're gonna attribute it to something and
Yeah. It's not as cool as what I want to discuss, which is Dragonlance with you very quickly.
oh,
Um,
what you got?
well, so I was at a birthday party. Shout out Ken. We'll talk more about that next week, hopefully when he's on, because we get a little game to talk about that I want to get his opinion on. But
Okay.
Patrick, also a friend of the show, with it, which is all the friends of the show today, was talking about Dragonlance with people, and I didn't know if you had finished those books.
I have not. So
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for all three of them to be published so that when I sit down I can just read them all in a row.
Okay. I will not color your opinions then of those books with what some of the things that they were talking about
Okay.
in them. I want to hear your raw opinion before we get to that. But in the meantime, you should tell me about things that were definitely not raw because they've probably been stewing for 30 to 40 hours. It's the time for the largest chili cook-off in the United States. How was the Tustin chili cook-off, my guy?
Yeah, not raw, but may have been a little fire breathing going on.
Well, you raw in other ways.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, it was the Tustin chili cook-off rolled around again about a week and a half ago now, and we had so much fun doing it last year for the first time that we decided, we're definitely going back this year. And yeah, as you said, of all places in the United States, it is the largest. I guess there's a qualifier. It is the largest single day chili cook-off in the United States.
Oh, okay. So they're like multi-day ones.
Yes, I think some of the ones that are more like true contests span a couple of
Oh,
days. Like
I had
a weekend or a long weekend.
I had seen something on their website that I thought was kind of smart. The alcohol wristband actually costs money.
It does,
Very
yes.
smart.
It's a good system actually. I think you because the chili tastings are are super cheap. So
Yeah, a
you
dollar.
walk up to the booth when you get there and you tell them how many tickets you want. And each ticket's $1. Yep. So that, each ticket gets you a tasting. And then if you want, you can buy a wristband. And then the wristband is basically your ID check to buy adult beverages from the places, the booths that are selling them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good system. And given the number of people that you see walking around with a beverage in hand, I'm sure it is quite the moneymaker for them.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the chili was good. The chili was good this year. So we did a dozen tastings this year, and I would say of the 12, 10 of them were between anywhere from good to great. There were only two that we took a couple of bites of and we're like, yeah, we don't need to finish this one. So one of them unfortunately had nothing to do with the chili, but they had let it burn.
Oh, well, that's something to do with
And
chili, man.
yeah, I mean, it just a bit of carelessness, I guess, on their part. But if you've ever burned a pot of chili, it's all you taste.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, especially if you just are in a cook-off. I mean, I understand there's maybe not as much competition to it as other chili cook-offs, but like you do vote, right? Like last year you
Yeah.
told us the voting system, it can't be good to let your chili burn. I mean, that's part of it
Y-
is maintaining the thing.
Yeah, so I'd be
It's not like
interested
you
to
could go,
know.
it's like somebody brought all their custom cutting boards to the Scottish Heritage Festival we went to, and they were like, oh, they all got damaged in shipping. It's like, well, come on, like, did you ship them? Did someone else ship them? Why are you displaying them? Damn it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you can't advertise bad goods and be like, oh, well, it's not their fault.
Yeah, so I'm curious too if it was, how much of their chili was affected because it was one of the last ones that we tried, which meant that they had been serving for a while already uh, during the day. So
Yeah,
it could be that a bunch of people had a better experience with it than we did. It could have just been one batch that overcooked,
yeah.
and they
I
righted the
think
ship for the rest of the day.
I think we didn't talk about last year that there's a salsa cook off as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that we didn't really partake in that in either year. But yes, that is also going on at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad they kind of expanded it a little bit. Other than that, we kind of buried the lead last year and didn't talk about the fact that they have a chili dog eating contest,
They do. They have
a beer a
the
beer
beer stein
stein
holding.
holding, a watermelon eating contest,
Uh-huh.
and a jalapeno eating contest.
Yeah.
Those are a good take on the normal pie situation, I
Yes.
think. Because chili
Yeah,
dog
they're a lot
eating,
of
you
fun.
got to actually kind of like really commit. You can't eat it like a Nathan's. Like it's
No, you can't
not a
dunk it in
Nathan's
your
situation. Yeah,
drink to help it go down, right?
exactly. Uh huh.
Yeah, and I don't
How?
know.
Okay, well,
I don't know if you caught it in looking at the schedule, but you noticed too that all of those the eating contests are all in the later half of the day too.
yeah.
So it's not like you show up and you
Huh?
get to do it fresh, right? You
Nope.
either are waiting or you've been eating some chili and having some drinks.
Yeah. Well, the watermelon, is just gonna be volume. How much can you handle?
Yeah, exactly.
The drinks might help with the jalapeno eating and the beer stein holding,
Could be.
actively deterring me from trying the chili dog eating. Yeah, that's funny, man. Well, since JJ's not here, I don't have to bore him asking you how the kids held up to a long day out like that with that many people.
Yeah, they did good. There's a on one edge of the street fair there is a small area for car enthusiasts to bring their classic cars or their kit cars and stuff and set them up and show them off. So uh, the little one had a great time wandering through the cars
Yeah,
and pointing out each one in turn. So
there's a
that
park
was
down
a
there
nice
too.
break. Yeah, there's a park and they take over the park and set up like bounce houses all over it. So
Yeah, very cool. Well,
yeah,
it's the
it's very cool.
beginning of summer, man. That's it. It's summer has begun,
It is the beginning of summer.
and that
Um,
means
one thing one thing that was interesting this year, and I'll bring this up just to see if you've had much experience with this because I had not. But of the dozen chilies that we tried this year, three of them had peanut butter as an ingredient.
never heard of that before in my life.
I don't think I had ever had a chili with peanut butter, and all of a sudden, a quarter of the ones that we try had peanut butter to greater or lesser degrees incorporated into the chili.
I'm surprised to not see like a lot more smoked chilies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
I
Yeah, there were
wonder if
there
that's
were a
a new,
couple.
yeah, chocolate peanut butter chili from 2021. New York Times is the earliest I can see chili peanut butter in it on this thing. I wonder if it's some sort of recipe that got out there and people were like, oh, well, we got to start adding peanut butter.
Yeah, it might be. It was okay in I think two of the ones we tried, and had been done really well in a third one.
I think one of the problems I would have competing in this is I think chili, while a great stew, for me is a vehicle for getting to have all the things I enjoy with it, like cheese, avocado, sour cream, sometimes like even noodles or crackers or bread or those types of things. And to me, it's kind of like a layer, almost like a layered, not a dip, but a layered event, an activity where you are.
Yes.
And these types of servings are not going to be, okay, well, here's all the good stuff alongside that little tiny cup of chili.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of gamesmanship too in that, because you definitely will see some of the booths where they'll present it like that. There was one booth had the assembly line going of cheese, sour cream, onion, cilantro.
Really?
There was another booth that was doing little like mini cornbread muffins on top of their tasting cup of chili.
Hmm.
Um, but it's that fine line of, if this is the way you're going to serve it, right, you're also going to get judged on this. And how much are you getting judged on just the chili versus augmenting that chili, or maybe hiding the chili underneath all those toppings, right? So
Sure.
there's definitely something to be said for, these are the fixins that make to you, to me, a bowl of chili, a bowl of chili. Um, but sometimes you can go overboard, right, in trying to dress it up and present it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if it's the start of summer, that means it's time for Summer Games Fest, Michael.
It is time for Summer Games Fest, and in keeping with another summer tradition, it felt like the organizers of Summer Games Fest said, "You know what? We're gonna open up the fire hydrant and just let you take it straight to the face."
Yeah, I already have a stressful, summer camps, summer schedules, trying to work during the summer, the amount of housework like, and then they just, like you said, opened the fire hose of like, here's all the things that are coming forever. Process all of this. It's like, I don't know if I can mentally process all of this.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the stream?
I have to read recaps, man. I can't do that thing all day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's long.
It was long. It was very long. It was 2 hours this year.
I can't do that. I can't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw Xbox is bringing like 12 huge games out. You know, uh, I saw a lot of the games announced for the PS5 coming up. You know,
Yep.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was some good stuff in there. There was one that made me think of you, because to me it had a very much sort of like Steamboat Willie meets Cuphead aesthetic,
Oh, really? Oh,
called
okay.
Mouse PI for Hire.
Oh, that's very funny. That's
Um,
not the one I would have picked out if you were to tell me one of the ones that you were thinking about for me.
yeah. It looked fun. Maybe a first person kind of beat 'em up game.
Okay.
But yeah, the call to Cuphead is what made me think of you, because I know how much you enjoyed that one.
Oh, yeah, I know you're right. It was very aesthetically to me. A lot about the game was probably something that had been done before, but aesthetically, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really had a nice. It was a nice change of pace for that era of game. I thought you would have picked like Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree or something like that.
Ah, yes.
That
Yeah,
that Dragon Ball looking one, or I've been vocal about Onimusha. That's getting another game.
it is getting
So
another game.
I
Yeah.
can't believe that at all. Like I just can't understand and believe that. And then right in the middle of there, we're gonna only tour one more time forever. Wu Tang's getting a game.
Yeah, that was out of left field.
What is that about?
I
It's
am
gonna
not
have
entirely.
okay. The big news to me was it's gonna have new music.
Yeah, right.
What? We're never
Surprise.
touring again. Here comes a video game. It's gonna have new music that you'll never hear us play live. Like what? What's
Yep.
happening? Oh well. Wu Tang is for the adults, I guess. That
Yeah,
used to be
not
kids.
just for the children.
Well, the children aren't gonna watch a Afro realism anime game probably as much as I am.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Watch.
What else? What else did I see that excited me? There's a new Scott Pilgrim game coming.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to be sold on that a little bit more. I think to
Yeah,
pick that kind
I
of
want to
game up.
see a little bit more of it, but the 2D side scroller brawler, I do kind of like that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Mina the Hollower, I'm very excited about from the Shovel Knight
Yeah.
Yacht
You
Club
and JJ
games.
seemed like they were
Oh,
gonna lose it.
it's that game is a love letter
Yeah.
to a
I'm
very
kind of
specific era.
I'm kind of into the Gears of War remake a little bit.
Okay, yep.
I gotta hit up some people that I played Gears of War with and see if we can get online and play some Gears of War because the memories, you know.
Yep.
What else? Oh, JJ's not here, but Double Fine's got a new game. Um,
Yes,
that's
they do.
strange.
Keeper, is that what that was called? I
Keeper.
think it was
Yeah.
called Keeper. Yeah. One that just made me laugh. Did you see the trailer for one called Felt That Boxing?
No, I thought you were gonna. Okay,
It
what's
is
that about?
the best way I can describe it to you is Mike Tyson's Punch Out meets Avenue Q.
Oh, okay. I would
It
play
is
that.
it's a boxing puppets game.
I'd play it probably. It depends on the price, obviously.
Yeah. But it looked very silly and very fun.
New Super Meat Boy, which I know JJ will be excited about.
Super Meat Boy 3D.
Yeah, and
So
one
that
that I will probably play, but I'm pretty sure no one else on this podcast is going to play is Invincible Versus.
yep, I saw that.
I'm probably the only one that'll have any interested in that. 3v3 tag fighters don't really seem like they're the hot ticket item these days, but it seems like a game I want to play, you know?
Yeah, in your
Uh
wheelhouse.
it's it just it just hits right for me sometimes. Like Gundam Battle Assault for me was a big game that wasn't very popular. That just hit right for me. I don't know why. You know.
Yeah, I know what you
Uh,
mean.
yeah. There's too many games to just. I mean, we could literally go through all of them. Although
I know.
Silk Song, maybe might be real.
Well, Silksong amused me to no end because there was no announcement about it at Summer Game Fest, which is what everyone thought, right?
Right.
When the rumor mill got turning and there started to be rumblings out of Team Cherry earlier this year, and then there was no official word and no official word. Everyone was kind of like, well, Summer Game Fest is kind of their last chance to really make a big splash if they want to put the game out this year, right?
Sure.
No more E3, so this is kind of it. And then Summer Game Fest kind of came and went without any word from Team Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
And then Microsoft announced their uh, ROG Ally, ROG Xbox Ally.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah. Well, that what's one of them? They announced a couple. There's
right, they
different
announced a
names for
couple
all
of
of them.
them,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Ally and the Ally X. But if you watch the announcement trailer, half of the footage that is playing on the screen of the handheld is Silksong.
Yep. Yep. There's definite screens of it in there. So do we still say screens of it? I guess we probably don't, huh?
Yeah, probably not. Stills, maybe, but they were showing gameplay in addition to just still
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
But you wonder at this point, like how much are they just leaning into the joke?
I hope they're leaning into the joke.
Yeah, it's like we're not gonna be a part of the showcase,
I
but
have a
here's what
bad
we're gonna do.
feeling about that
Okay.
game. The feeling is that it will be great, but that people will be like, why did we wait X time for this? And it's like,
Uh-huh.
well, what's the problem? Why did you wait X time for what? Did you not like the game kind of thing, And everyone will say it's a perfect game. And then all the grumbling will be about how long people waited. And it won't be anything about the game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that kind of thing other than to fight it ahead of time and be like, just enjoy it when it comes out, guys. Like
Yeah.
Microsoft's
Go
paying
find.
these guys to do a great game, so just enjoy it when it comes out.
Yeah. Go find something else to play in the meantime, right? You just watched 2 hours of a presentation where there are dozens and dozens and dozens of games, right?
Yeah.
You can find something else that you were going to enjoy in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, are you going to buy an X and get rid of your Steam Deck? Is that what's going to happen? Are
Not
you going to get a
not anytime
ROG
soon.
Xbox?
No,
I'm probably the target for this thing since I still have Game Pass for some reason.
I think so. Yeah.
It looks cool. I've been wondering about an Ally for years, but JJ's point being about streaming games the Steam Deck I already own is still holding strong. So I don't know. They got to release some pricing, I think, before I decide on that kind of thing. It
Right.
looks
Yep.
cool though. The hand grips. I'm a fan of hand grips, and that definitely has them. Or they're finally sort of taking that market seriously, especially for me. Of like, I love having a powerful PC. I use it. I use it a lot, but I also don't want to sit here all night. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
When
know,
you could just be sitting on the couch or on the bed.
Or in bed. Yes, in bed is the big one. Go upstairs, take a little, 30-minute of the video game, read my book for 10 minutes, knock out.
Don't have to
That's the
move.
way it goes these days. So cater to it, and maybe the Switch 2 will do that. I don't know. What do you think? If we didn't get one with a stapled screen, maybe that'll be the answer.
That's just of all of the things to have happen. And I get that it's an isolated incident, right? But that was as much as the launch itself, that was kind of the news of the day, right?
Yeah, not only did I see very funny memes about it, but I saw somebody make an AI video of somebody like nail gunning the receipts to the box. And and while I did get a chuckle of the idea of people using a nail gun to do it, it was like, why did we do this with AI? And then the AI itself with the nail gun messed up at the end, and I'm like, yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Perfect.
There's your reminder.
Perfect close the loop on the failure of the actual event and then the failure of the AI video. Great job. Perfect. Yeah. Seems like there's stick drift out of the box, my guy.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Yep.
I haven't heard too much about it yet.
Yeah, and you can put the Joy-Cons in backwards.
Oh, well, that seems like
They
poor
tried
design.
they tried to design them too well, and looks like maybe you can accidentally put them on backwards and then pinch your fingers horribly.
Ooh,
Yeah, it sounds like maybe the Joy-Cons didn't get enough attention. Oh,
oopsie.
this is why we don't buy launch consoles.
Gen 2, Gen 1.1,
Yeah, Gen 2 1.1, Gen 2.1.1.
2
What are we at?
2.1.1. Let's go with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've heard little bits and pieces here from some friends who did get them on launch, who have been enjoying what they've been playing so far. I've heard some good things about Mario Kart World.
Looks fun.
It does look fun.
I've heard it called Tony Hawk's Mario Kart. There's like
Fair enough.
there's a new you can you can slide on pipes in the game now.
And you can jump off walls. Yeah,
And
I've
you can jump
seen.
off walls now. So people are just sliding on the sides of the levels and not even racing on the tracks anymore.
Yeah, anything to
Which is
shave
going to
off.
be, well, it's just going to be not enjoyable in the online sense, but I think for people playing at home, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stick drift out of the box jokes. A lot of Mario Kart is fine, but not stellar jokes.
I was surprised that they put it out without a 200cc mode.
Yeah, right. I mean, how can you have a game that's not as up as the last?
I mean,
I don't know.
I can sort of understand it as it would be. I can see them doing something where they have it as a big push for like a Christmas release.
Okay.
Right? Hey, here's the 200cc class.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised this thing came out as early in the year as it did, right? Like Switch or Nintendo launch windows are usually much later in the year.
Yep.
And given when most of the games for this thing are coming out, like we thought Donkey Kong was a launch title, and you and I were both wrong, right? Donkey Kong's a month from now.
Yep. Coming out in July.
And then there's like not anything until the end of the year, which is when they normally launch consoles.
Yeah, I feel like it does give them some opportunity though, because they have a chance to work out bugs like the Joy-Con issue. They have a chance to deal with potential supply shortages,
I mean,
right?
it shouldn't have been a
And
surprise, but
backfill. Yeah,
like the Switch launched in March. So maybe this is just their new window instead of November like it used to be. But it just feels like if they can't move the games earlier, also they gotta, I don't know. The thing sold out everywhere, so whatever.
yeah, yeah. Clearly, they're
Uh,
doing fine.
I would just hope it's not plagued with problems. It would really hurt them if they have to fight problems and then they also have to fight global markets at the same time.
Yeah, not doing themselves any favors there.
No, no. Speaking of fighting, how much fighting you been doing, or are you doing some sneaking? You sneaking or are you fighting?
Little column A, little column B.
Uh,
I did get to a
we're
point
talking
that
about Arkham
yes, Arkham
uh,
Asylum.
Asylum, the first one.
So my one of my two challenge games. Yeah, I got a little more time to play last week, and I did get to a point that JJ had brought up as something that he thought was the most fun, which is getting to the point where you can first swoop down and grab up one of the thugs from above,
Oh, okay, great.
which is
How
just
is
it's
it
so
as
satisfying.
satisfying as
It is so
okay, good. All
satisfying.
right, all right. Nice.
But yeah, so it's gotten good. I got to the point where I've started to open up a few side quests and some optional objectives. So the game is branching out, off the initial like 30-minute rail that you're on to start.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those types of games. We're just gonna walk you through it all until you get tired of us.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it's good. It
That's
plays.
good.
It still plays really well on the Steam Deck.
Our little boy is holding up, huh?
Yes, indeed. Taking off the
Oh.
training wheels.
I mean, that game's, let's see, Arkham's what, 10 years old? No, more. It's gotta be like 15.
More at this point. Yeah, 2011, 2010, 2011.
It's gotta be like 15-year-old game, at least. It should be able to handle it. Yeah, 2009, my guy.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, even a little
One
earlier.
one would hope a console from 2023 could do it, right?
Yes, and I don't know that I ever would have guessed that it wasn't Steam Deck verified because of an inability to handle it, but more just that's where it was in line to get
Steam Deck
converted.
conversion, yeah,
Yeah,
support. Well, it is an older game, so it might actually be harder to get it support, right? It doesn't follow all those same rules as modern Proton would want it to.
sure, you've got to actually do more work to hammer it into shape.
A little bit. A little bit. Well, that's cool. I have about the same level of reporting for Tactical Breach Wizards, actually,
Okay.
which is it's still doing well on the Steam Deck. I actually went into the menus um, to double check that I wasn't missing anything. And one of my biggest gripes about selecting your wizards is solved by the shoulder buttons. You can switch
Oh,
between wizards on the shoulder buttons. So that
okay.
really changes things up for me quite a bit in terms of the frustration of like moving the stick around to select people was making things real slow.
Right. Yeah, that'll
And
definitely streamline it.
yeah, I mean, I know that I used to do that with like Jeanne d'Arc, right? Like you had to move the
Hmm.
stick around to select people in Jeanne d'Arc, but like at the same time, little screen, much faster, snappier, all that sort of stuff. So
Yep.
I was happy to discover that little nugget. And defenestrating people is still fun, although they're making it harder and harder as the game goes on. I'm getting
Of course.
frustrated. I just want to throw grenades and have people pop out windows, man.
You got
Um,
to get better. Those tactics have to evolve.
Yeah. I'm starting to hit the point where like if I want to do so every mission has of the main objective, optional objectives and like optional objectives. I don't know
Hmm.
how to describe this, but like there's the like you gotta finish it and you gotta do it this way. Then there's like maybe you should close that reinforcement door before turn 8 or whatever. And then there's also like if um the ranger character can use the uh, automatic shot where like if somebody crosses their line to kill somebody before anybody shoots in the entire map, then you get extra points for I don't know uh hats or whatever that you can put on them.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds
The
like that kind of structure actually makes me think of like StarCraft, where you had the
Yes,
mission and then you had the medal objectives and then you had some other little objectives thrown in for challenge or upgrades or what have you.
absolutely. Less even than StarCraft in terms of like the mechanics of it. Like sometimes in StarCraft you're like, well, if I go take over that base, then I'll get like another like upgrade for my Vikings, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll be able to use these different missiles or whatever if I go over there and do that. Man, you're making me want to play StarCraft
You're welcome.
again. Yeah. Even this is very explicitly like it's just for hats or coats or like physical costumes for your characters.
Okay.
So don't sweat it. But
Nothing
like
of nothing of consequence.
I'm starting to hit the point of like, do I start to read guides in order to get this stuff, or do I just say, you know what? I want to just beat this game so I can go on to the other assignment, quote unquote, animal well, and so I just gonna do it. I haven't decided yet. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't need all the ponchos.
I probably don't, but Star Wars, I did get all the ponchos.
Okay. Bad analogy then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if people want to give us better analogies, where would they do that, Michael?
They can send that to podcast@weweregamers.com.
Excellent.
We love to hear from people. Tell us what you think of peanut butter in chili. Does it belong, or do we need to report it to Judge JJ on his return?
That is the hottest topic of our time. I might try it when it cools off. I guess I need to try it soon because it's just gonna get hotter. I do love cooking chili, man. So maybe we'll do that this weekend or something.
There you go.
That's a good inspiration. Peanut butter chili. Nobody's gonna know why that episode title exists, but we're gonna go with it.
Just gonna
Uh,
have to listen and find out.
this is what you've done to us, JJ. It's a month of peanut butter chili time. Does that mean you can put bananas on your chili now?
No, only if you also do chocolate.
Yeah. And then we're adding ice cream.
JJ, I can see JJ swinging his gavel at us from his assignment.
Banana split chili. Could be done.
Stranger Things.
Not yet. End of year.